All right, and we're live. Hopefully, guys, can you check if we're live? Because we don't want to mess this up again.
It currently says offline still.
What?
It might take a little bit, but
Okay.
Now it's online.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah,
I can see it now.
good. So let's do the intro again. This is GPV. We have lots of people in chat right now, or I mean, voice chat.
Hi, I'm Emily. I am new here, and I'm busting on the scene. I will be your vibes commentator, giving Dex my little purple hearts for the vibes, and also kind of with some like modern sensibilities, but mostly like 99% vibes.
Yeah. Do you want to start next, or are you guys still doing intros?
Anyone can do an intro if they would like.
I'm Doc. I'm here because I like to be here. Hello.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming.
I'm Pip. I'm here as a clear expert, as someone who has won a GP. At least one.
Yeah, at least one. Wait, don't you have 2 GP wins so far?
I have. This is my third, or last one was my third. But this is my first one in the 2020s.
Right.
My last one was in 2019.
So, anyways, yeah. Next, do you want to start?
Sure. I'm Nix. I made the first deck on the list because my name comes first alphabetically, and I'm only here to shill that deck for about 15 seconds, and I can take my leave. It's the usual big red deck, except I got rid of all the bad cards, like Tanya and Rapacious Rattler, which got sent to the sideboard, which are actually probably good cards, but I don't like them. And then I put in Valerie Creepak because it works really well with Emissary of Antiquity, the most broken card in the format. I mean, at least for Big Red, the most broken card in Big Red. It makes things when you target things with spells, which happens more often than you would think. And if you don't have ways to target with a spell, you can search your graveyard for cards with a spell with Valerie, and then throw that at people's faces. I also have Exhilarating Prescience. No clue how to pronounce that. Auxiliary
Prescience.
What?
Yeah, Prescience is right.
Prescience. It's a card that I found like 2 weeks ago or something, and it turns out it's really silly when it goes off. And also, people don't bring in enchantment removal, so it sometimes just does really silly things and gives you extremely insane amounts of card advantage when you shouldn't have it.
Yeah, I've seen this thing get up to 8 counters and then start flipping cards.
Yeah, I got to like 12 against, I think, like 2 games ago. I forgot who it was against. They just like, don't flip. It's GG. You'll probably hit a burn spell.
Yeah.
And also Cinderhoop Minotaur that I did not get a chance to replace with Rakiri Dissident. It's just Rakiri Dissident, except it doesn't have haste. It has trample instead, and sometimes it acts like a mini Ragavan, but less often than you want it to. That's about it.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your commentary, Nix. So
okay, Emily, rate its power level, please.
Also, I love the new art for Unrivaled Fire Weaver. Just putting it out there.
Super fucking Mario.
Wait, you're not running the new art for Seer Flesh?
The Super Mario Bros.
Didn't get an opportunity to. Like, I realized, like, at 15 seconds before the due date, and I was trying to replace it, and then I replaced my league deck with it, and yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, you did that.
Yeah. But when I'm playing, I will have the alternate Seer Flesh featuring... No clue who that guy is, but he's from, like, Avatar or something.
So
Cool.
Well, so yeah, actually, Pip, what do you rate this deck out of 10?
in terms of
Power.
level,
Yeah,
in terms
power.
of spiciness, in terms of power, I think it's probably a 4, right? I don't know how it fares versus Ramp, which is one of the big bads going to this GP. But if I was to pick like 3 or 4 decks that I would expect to like have a pretty good showing this GP. Big Red would be one of them. I really like the Exhilarating Prescience tech, by the way.
Yeah.
I lost to it horribly in a game of League, so I'm kind of high on it.
Isn't 4 below average?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was out of 5. I would put it as 7 or 8.
Yeah, let's put it in 7.5 in that case.
Yeah, let's land it at 7.5. Very exciting.
All right, and I'm gonna give it 3 chili peppers because we've seen this deck before. We've seen how it works. I was super excited to commentate it back when it was new, but now I think we've kind of gotten bored of it.
I give it 4 thumbs up.
Sure.
That's it.
Iron
Real.
bread.
Yeah, I love Valerie. She looks super good, and I just think she's very pretty. Also, Lieutenant Daisy looks like a decent one drop. If I knew what cadence meant, I'd probably be a lot more impressed.
Uh,
Yeah, we're not using
No,
bonus reminder text.
Cool.
Don't worry about cadence.
Real.
It does nothing.
Cool. I am terrified of Metal Munch. Metal Munch seems very good.
Oh yeah, Metal Munch. That's a really big, really powerful sideboard card in certain matchups.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doesn't have a lair yet.
Oh, good point.
The Scorch, I think is very, very cool. That Nyx has the confidence and stick by your card design. I
didn't design the
Yeah,
card. I just made this lair.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is the art design on it super good to stand by your guns. Not something I would personally run because the dictionary, even though I'm like an English major girly, dictionary not the sexiest thing in the earth. But other than that, it's got like some really cute art. The Kamigawa Neon Dynasty style mountains. What do you expect? So I would give it like 3 hearts, I would say.
Cool. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
like above average, right? Well, it's
a
average.
little bit. It's above average. I mean, there's no average in 5. That's the beauty of 5. Unless we go 2.5. It's definitely not a 2.5. I think it's a solid 3.
Okay.
2.5 would be if it's 0, right? Can you give 0? Is that an option?
Huh.
I guess anything is an
I
option.
guess you could give 0, but I'm not going to give 0 unless it's like this person has gone out of their way to make a deck that is ugly to me.
Sure.
1 is like, oh, sweetie, I guess you tried your best. 0 is like, okay, we're fishing for it. You earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, are you copy pasting the hearts in their spreadsheet? Well, anyways.
Oh, I don't know how to do all that.
Copy
my
paste
first time
emoji. Yeah.
Well, true, but I don't know if I'm on the spreadsheet.
Didn't I send the spreadsheet? Well, whatever.
In MSEM Media.
You can
No,
do
it's
it.
not.
You guys can send the
MSEM Media.
deck list to
You
her.
got it.
Anyways, next you can leave now if you want.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Later.
damn.
You can leave now.
Okay. So moving
Stop.
on. Styles, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm taking a peek at it for the first time.
This is a cool deck. Because it looks like villainy, but it makes me sad that it doesn't have villainy in it.
Well, yeah, it does have villainy because look how many creatures it's running. Do you really want to
Yeah,
run
I also-
villainy?
I like
think villainy is-
the lots of deck symbols.
Well, yeah, because it has devotion, I think.
Yeah. Orc Soul Weaver can substitute for villainy in this case.
2 mirror gates of some creature lands and a pulp pools. That almost sounds like it could have been an Intrepid deck. Can't believe they're not an Intrepid deck. SMH my head.
Honestly,
Also, everyone.
It
the
just got buffed.
would Intrepid
Sure.
actually be good here?
No, not even a little bit. You have to
Unfortunate.
also like add a corpse bed and maybe Cradle of Corruption or something.
Yeah.
And also replace, I don't know. No, Intrepid is not good here, but it is still Intrepid.
True.
Yeah, so I think the mono black mid-range deck is worse than the black red mid-range deck by a pretty large amount.
Really?
I do think Cecilius is actually kind of huge in a lot of ways. This purple like 4-1 with this, 5-0 with it.
Yeah. I mean, he managed to beat me up when I was on egg ramp, so there's that.
Yeah, and the deck has a lot of good interaction and powerful proactive stuff, so it's definitely not a bad deck by any means, but this is one of those decks where, like, if it made it to top 8, I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be like, oh, good for Styles. This is probably an uphill run. But, like, I also would not be surprised if it went, like, 2-2 and scrubbed out.
Like you're saying, the deck is too fair, right?
Kind of. I mean, it has some busted starts. I think that it feels like it is playing mono black kind of for the sake of playing mono black.
I mean,
And-
you get a better burn matchup, right? Because your lands are less painful.
Yeah, but you're also indexing more heavily on creatures that require you pay a bunch of life for value,
Right.
which kind of offsets a lot of the stuff you gain in the burn matchup.
Your 2-drop and 3-drop can have you pay 3 life to draw a card.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's value
fancy.
right there.
That's like a reverse Scorch.
But also, like, I think it'll kind of depend on how much, like, literal, actual, factual burn is around. I think this deck fares probably a bit better than Black Red into, like, aggressive creature decks.
Yeah.
But, don't know. We'll see.
Also, I love. Is 2 Mirror Gate standard in these decks, or like it's?
I think that's a purple thing. Purple and I had a conversation recently about Mirror Gate, where basically this card is like really huge in the format right now. It keeps a lot of like random shit in check. I think 2 Mirror Gate is probably correct in like any deck that is trying to play relatively slow. There is a question of is this deck trying to play that slow? And Mirror Gate's also a little bit awkward in Profane Emissary decks because Polyp Pools is one of the big things that you want to be able to name with Mirror Gate to shut off opponents' Profane Emissaries. So
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not certain about that.
And you only run 1 Polyp Pool, so your opponent can blow up the Polyp Pools. But I think that's pretty standard for black deck. I mean, technically, since you're in mono black, you can run more than 1 Polyp Pools and not feel as bad. But
Yeah, I mean, you're 60 instead of 80 cards, where I think when you're 80 cards, you can really get away with like running an extra Polyp Pools because, you know, it's less density. But I do suspect that there should be a second one here just because of how many people are talking about registering sanding and other shit to deal with a ramp. It feels like walking into a GP with a deck built around a land is potentially dangerous.
yeah. So
You can
yeah.
stop your Polyp Pools from getting hosted by Mirror Gate by putting a name sticker on it.
That's true.
are there any name stickers in the
Have that
format?
be an option.
Just
Better
you
be.
wait. We're gonna start adding name stickers.
How do you do name stickers on
Yes,
Cockatrice?
please.
I think this is a solid 5 out of 10 for me. Like, I think,
Only 5?
yeah, I think it would be a very difficult sell to convince me that this was the correct deck to bring to the GP. But on the other hand, like, I don't think it's putting Styles in a situation where like you can't win, right? I just think you're kind of coin flipping it.
So like it's more like a 6 then, because 5 is like you're losing half your games. I think that's.
I think I could see this deck going 2-2 very easily.
Yeah, but I feel like 5 is still a bit low. Like we reserve 5 for unsynergistic decks, right?
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
I will
there's gonna be a
you guys
5
have-
coming up later.
You have some
I'll let you know.
ranking inflation going on here. I will give it 5.5, and I cannot be negotiated lower.
Fine, we'll do
Wait until you
5.75
see
because I
me
can't
bringing
negotiate.
up the curve.
we'll compromise, and then we'll give the deck 5.75. All right.
There we go, nailing it.
I don't like that Sicilius can remove all counters from permanents because that's really sad.
Just kills Planeswalkers right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a Garrick +1, and I keep playing Planeswalkers.
that's
and they have
wild.
no good way to kill Sicilius.
So robot. What's your rating?
Hey, wait a minute, 5.75.
Wait, robot. Is your mic on?
Who is Robot?
The newcomer.
Robot died. Not died, left.
Oh, I'm Robot?
Yes.
No, not Robot.
I'm
Rocket!
Robot now.
God
Okay,
damn it.
real.
Wait, I
Okay,
was thinking
Rocket.
Why did I think Batman was Dr. Robot?
Okay. That was embarrassing. Anyways, yeah, let's go on.
I'm Robot?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
real.
Robot
Okay,
now.
I'm Robot now. I lost. Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, automatically we are looking huge. Starting out strong with Vein Drinker's Kabbalist. I wish I had seen this card. I would have put it in my deck. Incredible. Sexy Vampire. I no notes for that. Unfortunately, it's all down here. Downhill from there. Sultan of Avarice. That guy looks like shit.
What?
I mean, good card, but he does not. He's not. He's a color coordinator. I mean, Valdez is cute. So we're going up there. Cecilius. So I like my Planeswalkers too. So Cecilius, I'm going to get very angry at, I predict. And so that's, again, we're going down in hearts. Overall, it looks cool, but I feel like I've seen this. I feel like I've played this deck in Modern. I feel like I've seen this deck and played this deck. That's a cool duress. I'm just
Told you
not.
the Apocalypse supposed to be right at home here.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not that inspired by it. So I think I'm just gonna give it a 2. It's not
What?
super inspiring.
You're not gonna comment on Bloodjade Prophet?
What Bloodjade Prophet? Well, well, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good, but that's also human. So it's not following like on her own. Super good. Might even bump it to a 3. But after like following in Vein Drinker Kabbalist's footsteps, like I expected great things. And then that's the only vampire, so I'm just like meh. Yeah, I'll give it. You know what? I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.
Okay. That's better than average. Good. We managed to convince
Slightly.
you to bump the rating up above a 2.
Well, it was the Bloodjade Prophet that convinced me. So good call pointing that out there. I did miss that.
Yeah.
That's on me.
I
Anyways,
will once again give it a fire emoji and a loaf of bread.
2 chili peppers because actually no, yeah, 3 chili peppers because I mean I like watching this deck. It's a fun deck to commentate, but I'm kind of bored of it already.
I think red black is better in every way.
Okay, you can think that. I mean, I haven't seen the red black version yet, so
Fractos.
No, like the red black Fireweaver
oh,
list.
as a mid-range deck, you mean, not as a
Yeah,
mono
yeah.
black deck? Okay, sure.
Yes, the good old red black mono black deck.
Yeah. Well, hold on. The red
I
black
have
deck.
seen those. I have seen those. To be fair,
The red black deck has how many red cards actually though? It has Scorch, it has Flames Approach, and then it has Fireweaver, and that's it. That's the only red cards.
It has like Tyrant's Breath, right?
Okay.
That's not the right deck, I don't think. Or is
different
it?
deck.
No, it is. It is. You're right. It does have Tyrant's Breath.
Okay, which deck are you talking about? I mean, we can talk about deck when we get there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think
So-
anyone's winning pools.
Well,
How many
anyways,
decks do we have to get through?
30.
Okay.
Not counting duplicates.
holy
We
shit!
probably should accelerate.
Yeah, let's go.
whichever pace
Next
we are
deck,
taking.
Tricky's
Okay.
colorless, and all of the cards are in one column for some reason. Probably because limit extension
Oh,
generation
no.
system is poking out there and preventing
Oh
the
yeah.
from making 2 columns.
The longest card name.
Seems very likely.
Yeah.
I played against this in League a little bit. It's a cool deck. I spent all my resources dealing with the darn Shining Crusaders, and then they played Observer of Eons, and then I spent all my resources again killing it, but then I forgot that they had Tinkerer's tools out, so they just sacrificed it to get another one.
Wait,
That's
we don't even play Intrepid in this deck?
why would you play
Man.
Intrepid in here?
It finds Monument of Queens. It's a threat on its own. You cast off Kelly Shops.
Well, wait, what does Kelly Shops do again? Oh,
When Kelly Shops won a GP, it was with unnerfed Intrepid. And also unnerfed Kelly Shops, slightly more relevantly. But
it's-
Kelly Frost's workshop.
yeah, only tap for 2
Really?
now, right? Did it
Yeah.
use to tap for 3?
It used to tap for 3.
Okay, see,
Holy
that's the
shit,
reason why.
okay.
I mean, it's still a very good card. It still, I think, Intrepid could find so many different creature lands here. I don't know. I do think that's a legit miss.
Well,
But this deck looks good. I feel like there's some hate that would make it very sad. I'm a little bit worried about its threat density. But on the other hand, it has like, what, four-ish creature land threats, which is kind of really sick.
yeah,
In terms of like being able to beat out control decks that are relying on like rot and other things to handle artifact decks generally. I don't know. I'm kind of high on this. I think I'd probably put this at like an 8.
really an 8 above the big red deck.
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
I mean, maybe this deck is a little slower than I'm giving it credit for, but I feel like it has a lot of potential to just like hose a lot of commonly played interaction, and it has like a powerful linear plan it can assemble.
Right.
Like there's still an Observer of Aeon's Cinderblade deck.
Also, it gets to play Light Blessed Claymore.
What's that thing do?
Claymore is actually surprisingly powerful.
Lifelink.
That is-
Oh yeah, that's
that is
impossible
me.
to race.
Lifelink and +2/+0, so you're
Unlike
gaining
your
an extra
Shining
force swing
Crusader,
every time.
you just can never do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Attach that to a Shining Crusader or something. It's
Yeah.
like you're swinging 10 life every turn. Pretty good.
Tinkerer's tools is also the fact that you can activate at instant speed is just a real pain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cradle of War. This is a Cradle of War deck. Cool.
Yeah, new card. Cradle of War. Any
Sideboard, right?
design insights about Cradle of War from Pip?
It is a card that I was like, yeah, this has some technically really broken starts, and hopefully it doesn't do those too often. So let's see.
All right, yeah. Can we at least bar it down to a 7.5? Like, I feel like it's
Sure.
unproven.
I can be negotiated down. I can be 7.5 sounds reasonable.
Anyways, seems like a fun deck or interesting deck that I haven't seen before, so I'll give it 5 chili peppers. Although I don't think it's that great for commentary, right? Because it's a lot of things at once. Well, whatever.
Goodness to commentary. It's definitely a deck with a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
Oh, Mana Potion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I really, really like this Shining Crusader in this deck. I'm a sucker for the Call Time Showcase frame. Super, super cool. I love Knights. Super, super cool thing. I like the limb extension and generation system. I think Legs is cool. Other than that, oh yeah, the trains. Gotta give a shout out to trains.
So true.
Autistic representation.
Yeah.
Love that. But artifacts and Demir, I don't know. I can't interact with a lot of them. I can't remove a lot of them. I'm gonna be sitting against this deck, being like, oh man, I wish I was playing Grixis. But ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, there's a couple of things I like, and a lot of things that are like super mid to me. And because it's an artifact deck, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 2, and I can't be swayed this
Ooh,
time.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, actually, has
Power
anyone
level.
Not cute. Not cute. Get rid of the artifacts. Bring in something I can control.
Why is it 2?
Oh, side note, it plays
Two is not cute.
Stonework in the sideboard, and that can kill Profane Emissary.
Wait, what? What card? Fell to
Sick.
Stonework. Ah, yeah. I should probably
Oh
check
my God.
chat actually.
That's really good.
Foul weather effigy.
Oh, hey Neon.
That's-
Thank you for joining. Can someone else check chat for me while we're
been
talking?
checking.
Okay, good. Continue.
We should go on to the next one, probably.
Okay,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Moving on. Admiral Ivy's net deck. It's wait, what is it?
It's Council Scam.
Oh
It's a
god.
casino scam. Yep. With Tolly.
What's scam? Where's the scam?
No, this isn't scam, guys.
It's not Casino Scam. That's a different one.
Casino
Oh,
Scam's the
no.
turns one. This is the Death Shadow control deck that Scribble played.
Yeah, it will be within League.
I have no idea how Scribble won multiple matches even with this deck, but
What?
it sure is a control deck that is hoping to drop its life total as low as possible, which is not generally something you want to do in control, but if it works, you have the Wombo combo of Singularity's Grasp to pay most of my life, then Herald of Oblivion, Belfar's Defiance?
Wait, what do you mean Singularity's Grasp, Pay Life? You mean
They're
Ignition
not
Ritual?
Singularity's Grasp, Ignition Ritual,
Yeah.
the other one. The other is Sweeper.
It was
How do you-
very funny. 2 games, I went 0-2 against Scribble. Got to play 2 games, both of which I got them down to either 1 or 2 life, and then they just it was 3 games. What? No, but I don't remember. The important one was I got them down to 1 life, and then they untapped and played Herald Silver's Defiance and just killed me, and I didn't realize they were a Death Shadow deck at that point.
Well, it looks like they won't have that trick in the GP.
How do you
I
get
also just
a herald?
so you have Shanjun's command and Tolly's counsel for reliable access to Herald.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How about Selvar?
You don't have reliable access Silver's Defiance. You just have the 4 Tolly's counsel, and you're also drawing like a pretty respectable number of cards. You have like Whisperwood's command. You have Dark Bargain.
Oh, Bloodjade.
Oh,
PJ.
and Bloodjade. That's pretty good synergy.
I disagree with 1 Mirror Gate. I think you could stand to run more Mirror Gates.
And
but also
with
Scribble
this mana
has-
base?
I'm just
Mirror
joining.
Gate is better at fixing your mana than a lot of cards.
Wait, did someone just join Scribble?
Hi, yeah, this is Scribble. Hi, I made the deck. I was watching the stream and it was delayed. I didn't realize we got to.
Oh yes, talk to us.
Yeah.
Hi.
Talking about the Mirror Gate, I was actually on previously 2 Mirror Gates, but then I realized I can just tallies for Mirror Gate if I need it. So I'm going to go back down to 1. The
Holy
tap
crap.
land-
You
Hurt
can do
me.
one.
yeah, the tap land hurt me more than it having the second copy of Mirror Gate, so I just reduced to 1. Yeah, the deck plays like a control deck. I don't know. I got suggested to go on Shadow because I was talking about not liking aggro decks because they're less decision based. In my opinion. And then Zangi said, hey, why not run Shadow? It's an aggro deck really fast, but it has a lot of agency and a lot of decisions. So I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do with it. And then I didn't like it and I turned it into a control deck.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just it functions like a control deck. It doesn't really go to low life on its own very much, or at least the way I played it, I haven't felt like I need to because it's sort of with all the tutors and all the card draw through Bloodjade Prophet and all that. I like to have my life total fairly high until it naturally goes low, and then the combo just sort of assembles itself.
So how are you getting Cerberus Defiance again? Because I know you have a bunch of ways to fetch Herald.
In my games, I never actually tutored for Herald with Shanjuns. I only ever used Silvars. I also used Tali's to tutor for combo pieces. But honestly, I a lot of the times I didn't need to. Sometimes I just won by playing it with Bloodjade Prophet and Valdez beats, and then using everything else for removal and interaction. Like it doesn't need to combo to win.
Right. Huh.
How do you think you fare against the ramp?
I think
green ramp.
I think this deck, of all my decks that I've played against ramp, this is the one with the highest win rate against ramp.
Yeah, ramp can't really.
All the decks that I've usually play really struggle against the ramp deck. This one I think does really well against it.
Basically, the problem is that ramp can't stop the Herald combo. So like ramp can try to go over you, but they die to combo. So it's like they don't have that much time to try to win.
You can't just keep a treasure up all the time. Or forbidden treasure, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So Scribble, what would you rate your own deck out of 10?
You're really putting me on the spot here.
You can ask Pip
8,
for help if you want.
Can I just shark, and then I'll vote with the average of what everyone else does.
Okay.
I think this deck is probably like I'm in the same camp of this as Styles' deck. I mean, okay, if it has a good matchup versus ramp, I feel like on paper it probably doesn't have a bad matchup versus black. You know what? I could do 6. I could do 6.5.
6.916. Okay, I mean, sure, we can keep that number.
It's the average of every single number you put down. So if you add more numbers, it'll average itself out.
Wait, what?
Oh no.
Well, that's just the number I was going to pick anyway. So.
I think that's beautiful.
So-
Rating on a curve. We love it.
So what about you, Robot? I mean,
Robot. So Robot says, Robot who hates artifacts says, I love Bloodjade Prophet. It seems like a really, really good card, and more importantly than that, it is such a cute card.
are you talking about this art or the other art?
I have not seen the other art, so I'm going off the art that is on the Lackey Bot thing.
Wait, are you not
again,
holding? I mean, I'm hovering over the card in the stream, right? I guess you're not technically in the stream right now.
Oh, I can be in the stream. All right.
Or you
Let's
can
see
just
the other one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's. Bloodjade Prophet. That's the one I'm seeing. Also, still love Valdez. Not sick of seeing that little bastard. I think it's super cute. That along with like, there seems to be so many like showcase border style cards in here. The Exant is gorgeous. The Solar Flare is gorgeous. It's a very attractive looking deck. It doesn't pander to me specifically, so I don't think you can give it a solid 5, but I really, really like this deck, and I'm really, more than that, I'm really excited to play against it because it looks fiddly as hell, and I think that's fun. So we're gonna give it a solid 4.
Nice. Did you mention Conspiracy of Ravens or?
Oh my god! Hold on. Oh, that's such a good card. So next time, I'm definitely another card that I'm seeing, and I'm like, I'm running that next time, no matter what. It is such a cool card. That card specifically does look like it panders to me. Love that art. Super cool. This definitely a well-earned 4 out of 5 hearts.
Not 5? What do we have to do to get you 5 hearts?
Oh, you gotta pander just like getting 0. To get 5, you have to pander to me. Not even my deck. And this is spoiler alert for people. I have a deck in here. It's not getting a 5. Because I see cards. I'm like, oh, I should have done that. I should have done that. Like 5 is top of the top. But this is super cool deck. Super cool deck.
Okay. Anyways, let's move on.
Yes, please.
Okay, thanks for having me. I'm checking out. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Ooh.
Ooh.
A Little Blank's deck is running Chiara. I am already intrigued. Oh, I presume, it's running. Wait. I'm sorry. Okay. We have a Chiara Enchantress Reanimation deck.
It's a polytheism deck.
Off the cuff, I think the card that I would assume to see here would be one of the cards newly added in AVX, and it's not everything is going great. I definitely would expect to see. Sorry, what's it called?
You don't know your own card?
Ultim's Farewell.
What?
Ultim's Farewell, the card that like you discard to get a bunch of tokens, and then it's like this fuck off enchantment.
Oh yeah, huh?
Like very much was balanced around Chiara existing.
Well, maybe they didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's definitely a deck
surprised
coming
that
up
we looked
later
for-
that has not seen a lot of these cool cards. Clearly.
I do think it's really sick how this deck now has so much redundancy for like the cheap enchantment options. So like, you know, you have Unexplored Regions and Ramsey, and then you can curve those into Chiara, and then just like flip a polytheism into play or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It definitely, there's powerful things going on. It's neat how, okay, wait, polytheism can find everything is going great, which can flicker polytheism to grab more polytheisms, right?
Polytheism can't grab more polytheisms, but it
Okay.
can grab.
More everything's going great. Okay. You know what? Powerful enough. You probably win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
You
hard
also got
part
Pretty good.
is going to be
Epic
discarding.
action.
Oh, polytheism doesn't tutor. I thought it tutored for some reason. It just reanimates. Yeah, it's still probably a very strong card.
No, the hard part is going to be finding a way to get all the enchantments into the yard because you only have Weed from Chaff, right?
And the egg.
Yeah,
Seek
Seek
the
the Maker's Egg also.
Excuse me for a moment.
Yeah, it definitely feels like this deck would have strongly benefited from a self-binning enchantment, but perhaps.
Well, the self-binning enchantment question forces you to play that enchantment. So,
Low key, I think I give this deck a 4.
really?
Yeah, this deck like just it has a nut draw, but it's not built around any way of like maximizing that nut draw, and it didn't like give up the nut draw for a fair plan. It just like is a kind of inconsistent combo deck.
I mean, it has a fair plan, right? It has Insnu's Masterpiece to beat down and Steward to do some other beatdown stuff.
Well, that's the thing. A fair backup plan requires you have multiple fair backup plan things going on. Otherwise, they just like remove one. Only running 3 in Stu's Masterpiece, especially when you're not like an artifact spam deck, so you don't like an Stu's Masterpiece is realistically going to be like a 4/4 or 5/5, right?
Yeah.
So this isn't a card that's like going to ball out of control.
Right. Yeah. Well, I still think 4 is too low. Like, it has to be 5 at least, because 5 is a collection of cards. A collection of good cards, right?
Well, what is below 5?
Literally, or
Mine.
I think your ranking system is bad. I'm
I'm
going
just
4.
I'm just using Purple's ranking system where he ranked I think Crush Castle's decks as a 5 or something.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. Then what's a 10 then?
A 10 is a deck where I'm like, I have no idea how you fucking beat this. A 10 is something where it's like, okay, yeah, this is the 11th hour breakthrough Ethereum Leviathan deck where it had the ability to turn to you, and it also like was highly resilient, could grind through things, and had plenty of counter magic.
So what would Ring Fuse be? Back when
Ring Fuse probably would be like a 9 at least.
Actually, yeah, I think we did rate Ring Fuse as a 9 back then too. Right? No, that was pre GP stream. Well, whatever.
I think I'm just less generous to
have a lot of
mediocre decks.
I feel like this description doesn't fit Crush Castle's decks because they do have
Also,
a lot
wait,
of energy.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Okay,
I
good
misread.
point. Good point. Well, anyways, I think we talked long enough about this. So did Rocket have her say?
So I'm gonna have to be getting a little ASMR. There are other people in my house.
Don't worry.
Going to bed. Yeah. So cool. I really like Char the Enchantress as art, and same with Steward of Vampire's Cradle. Wheat from Chaff is cool art. I'm not a fan of Bont. Bont is bad vibes for me. and also Enchantress decks, pretty bad vibes. So I think this is gonna grab our first ever one of the night. I'm just not feeling this deck. I don't want to play against it. I don't want to look at it. Get it out of my face. Let's move on.
Okay, sure.
Brutal.
I'll give the deck 4 chili peppers because it seems interesting. Okay, protein how do you say that name? Mako?
This is Mako. Let's just go with that.
Manginello.
Okay, yeah, this is the blue-green ramp deck that people were hyping up going to this GP, and I think this deck like straight up lives up to the hype. I think it's a very powerful, proactive deck. I think it has a really good game versus anything that's like basically if you were trying to interact on a fair access, this deck has your number. And if you're trying to do unfair things, this deck can sometimes just outlinear you. I'm like an 8 on this deck, I think. I like a lot of the tech that it's developed in the sideboard. I think that helps.
They're playing one Macadonis in the sideboard.
Yeah.
What's that for?
That seems well, it's Mako's self-insert.
Oh, but what does it do?
Well, that's not important.
Hey, is Mako in chat right now? They're in chat right now.
That's already a huge dub. That's already a huge dub.
That seems like an entirely reasonable card, but I also don't think it matters how reasonable the card is. I think you just play it anyway. I don't know. This
It's a cool card though. I really like the. It's like a clone, but it does stuff more stuff.
Is Mako trying to talk right now, or are they just like in chat and sitting?
Just in chat sitting is now muted.
All right. I guess we're not going to hear them describe their thought process.
I do think this deck has like an 8 from me. I think there's a chance you could convince me it should be higher, but I think this deck had enough of like a target on its back going into this GP, and I do think there are like linear decks that have good matchups against it.
Or I mean, not even linear decks. It loses pretty bad to Soul Sisters. It loses pretty badly to Aristocrats, right?
Okay. I beat it as aggro ramp.
It also, I mean, you can also out aggro it if you really want to, or if you get to pieces.
But I think if this deck hits like mostly mid-range decks, if it hits decks where Vivian is a good card, this deck will roll them because this deck is a really fucking good Vivian deck.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when I first saw Vivian, or when Gal first suggested to put Vivian in ramp, I was like, why? It doesn't look like it does anything. Like the +1, you're not going to hit enough creatures off it. But apparently, turns out you're fine just missing sometimes because Vivian just does everything else so well. Like you just pretend that it's the first +1 is incidental card advantage, and you're happy just playing it for the other 2 abilities.
Yeah, that seems insane. I love seeing Vivian. Huge Vivian fan. I guess I'm giving my color commentary last. You guys have to rate the deck.
Yeah, you can talk about it first.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know if I love the aesthetic, but there definitely is an aesthetic. I am excited to go against it because it feels like something that is like, oh, this is the like obstacle to overcome. Like this is the deck that like I've been hearing about for the last hour and a half.
That's your entire MSEM history so far?
Yes, and no one can shut up about this deck, and so whether or not I like it, I am like really excited to like cut my teeth on it, so to speak, and see what it's all about. So I'm excited to play against it. I think one thing that catapults the deck in terms of like cuteness is having your card and just putting it in the deck no matter what it does. Just like forget about what it does, it's going in the sideboard. Like that is super cool to me. So
I agree.
I think for that alone, it goes from 3 to 4. That is super cool move. I think if you had mainboard, if someone mainboards their self insert, even if it's bad, that's a way to get a 5. I think.
I think
But
so. That means Neon is pretty well set in getting 5s if they ever get around to playing a black-white control deck.
I mean, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We'll see it. We'll see it when it happens. But for now, I think this one deserves the 4 that I am going to give it.
I'll give this deck 5 chili peppers because I built it and I want to see it being played.
Sick.
Yeah. So moving on. Crush Castle.
Always fun to see what Crush is brewed up.
Oh, it's this deck. Oh no, it's not that deck. So yeah, black red artifacts. So I ran into a.
Come on.
Oh no, it's the artifact stuff.
I don't think it's the one that Chumpek was running in League.
No, it's not. It's not the one that MacGuffin was
Or
on.
MacGuffin, right? Yeah.
It does look really strong though. This is like. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, we're running 4 copies of Master of Munitions. We're running 4 copies of Nihilistic Shock Trooper. Off the cuff, how many copies of Vivid March do you think we should be running?
Apparently 0.
Vivid March, for anyone not familiar, is an infinite combo with both of those cards. So we're currently running
Beautiful.
8 copies of one half of an infinite combo, and just ignoring the existence of the other. Possibly
Beautiful.
did not know it existed. But I think that's deeply funny.
Yeah.
Love
What's
that.
Epic of the Lovers doing here? It feels out of place.
I assume making a bunch of treasures is like the ideal.
Yeah, but at that point, why not just like?
Is that
Deal them
Luna
damage?
and Gabrielle?
I mean, like, I think the idea is, yeah, you just make a bunch of treasures. It only actually costs 2 mana, and it just like hits them for a bunch. So it's like a weird burn spell.
Okay, we are talking about an X burn spell in a deck with 20 lands.
Yeah, maybe it should be Vivid March
True.
instead. Like this would be a good cut for Vivid March.
Yeah. I think this looks better than a lot of the Crush Castle decks we see. I think this deck actually has like a pretty good coherent aggro plan. I think it has some like good overlapping synergy pieces.
Yeah.
I think there's some questionable aspects of deck building. I would probably run more lands. I didn't do the math on the mana, but I would be surprised if the math on the mana is correct.
I feel like you need to run more artifact makers because like I feel like you have more payoffs than enablers in the deck right now.
So we have Vault Keeper as an artifact, Dawson's Collector makes artifacts, Ragavan makes artifacts, Shock Trooper makes artifacts, Port Market Smuggler makes artifacts, Eli makes artifacts, Epic makes artifacts, PayUp makes artifacts, Devised Companions makes artifacts.
Yeah.
It has quite a few artifact creation.
Yeah, but like they're not really reliable enablers.
Oh yes. No, they're incredibly unreliable.
Like if
Also,
you look at MacGuffin's deck, they're playing way more reliable enablers.
Also, in addition to the Vivid March question, how many real lines do you think is the correct answer for this deck?
Definitely more than 0. Maybe
Yeah,
just.
I'm inclined to say more than 0.
Rail line stack.
Do you have any ways to sack your rail lines though?
What do you mean?
Like
Your rail lines? Why do you want to sack your rail lines?
don't you want stuff to go to the graveyard? Or actually, yeah, you don't need to sack your rail lines.
Well,
Generally, you don't
one of
wanna,
them
like-
is entering, the other one is dying.
Right.
I don't know. I am actually like, I think I'm sticking with a 5 for this deck, but I'm on the verge of dropping lower than that.
Yeah.
I think it's like devised companions could make use of it. Of rail lines.
That too. Also, a big miss here is Channeler of the Veil, because like Channeler lets you
makes
actually
no
sack
sense.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's 0 sack outlets in this deck right now, right?
It is actually really cool. As far as I can tell, I think Crush came to this deck probably independent of MacGuffin, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And it's cool some of the different tech that Crush has. I would not be shocked if if Crush brings this to another GP and tunes it slightly. I think this could be a very good deck. As is, I think it's a fine deck.
Yeah. Does Crush ever like bring the same deck tuned to
Yeah.
multiple? Oh, they do.
Crush brought the library deck multiple times.
Right,
and,
right. I remember.
brought Crazy Train like multiple times.
The library deck is so funny. I love it.
It was not fun to do on Cockatrice.
Yeah. Right. I don't think I have any other notes about this deck. I think this is just a solid 5 for me.
Yeah, I think this deck. Okay, so when I come into this format, I'm looking for like fresh. I'm looking for like to hear about things. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy! Like, I was so excited when people were like, yeah, people don't really run a lot of Dimir control. I was like, yes, we get fresh stuff. Hearing Rakdos artifacts crushed my soul. I'm so sick of Rakdos artifacts decks.
Oh,
To be fair, this looks like it's going to like this is apples and oranges from Sozenkan Smelter and the Onikol Anvil that I'm used to. But God, I just don't like hearing Rakdos artifacts. That said, Epic of the Lovers, that is I've checked with my eyes and the fact checker of my brain, and I do believe that is Xena, Warrior Princess, and Gabrielle, Battle Bard. So as a lesbian, I have to automatically bump this up a heart from where it was going to be, which is great for Crush. Excellent news for Crush, because we have avoided the second one of the night narrowly.
really? Nothing about Eli Windsor's lone gun.
I mean, most people have a lone gun. Most people don't have, a double barrel. So I'm not impressed, Eli. I gotta say, I don't really care about Eli's lone gun. He can keep it all by its lonesome. We're gonna move on.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it 3 chili peppers. Anyways, moving on to Cybers. The fix is in.
Fix.
Crew fix. What does it
It's a
do?
no good deed deck.
An
I have to
additional
go
bit of lore that most of
on-
y'all do not have. Cyber and I went to college together.
Ooh.
And while at college,
Nice.
we hung out a lot. We talked a lot about Magic. At one point, while hanging out in the nuclear reactor on campus that Cy worked at, we built the worst CEDH deck possible, which was a Crewfix stacks deck that used color bending effects to make certain like lock pieces like chill and stuff far better. It is one of the worst decks of all time. And I like to think that the Crewfix here is a nod, an homage to that.
So no good deed goes unpunished. Is that supposed to be a reference to that?
It's wicked.
No. That's a wicked reference.
Oh.
But
No, the
for-
presence of that card in this deck, is that supposed to be a reference to that?
no, I think that card is just viewed as good in ramp.
Oh.
Or sorry, good versus ramp.
Hey. Yeah, Hey,
Hey, Cyber.
I'm Cyber.
Hello.
I actually almost named this deck Crewfix Stacks.
Missed opportunities to be sure.
I seriously considered it. I decided not to because literally only Pip would get the reference.
We're loving this deck, by the way.
This deck has a lot of really good cards in it. And I am
Deck in reverse is cool ramp tech.
I
Oh,
am
it
generally
is.
very biased towards decks that feature good cards. So I'm like kind of inclined to give this like a 7.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it has a lot of neat tech that should line up pretty well into the format. And I think a lot of it boils down to I want to believe, I want to believe that the Maze Collection, In Dire Straits, Cosmic Sinkhole, Death in Reverse, Celestial Banish, like all of these cards are cards I'm rooting for. Although it is not running the Death in Reverse that's from the B-sides. So a little bit awkward on that front. But yeah, no, this deck just looks awesome. I want this deck to do well. Why doesn't this deck have like any creature lands?
Oh, huh.
Huh. Is Cyber in this chat to answer that question?
Yeah. The answer is I was planning to add them and forgot.
Oh.
Okay.
There is supposed to be
Real.
one Iris Pillar, one Cradle of Corruption in here, and I just straight up forgot to add them.
Wonderful.
Super real.
I do
In
love the
place
one.
of the second basic island and second basic swamp.
I do love that one Typhoon Caverns as just like, we're gonna get a little bit of value, just a wee bit of value.
Yeah.
I'm milling myself. It's like almost free.
Yeah.
Do we have any dagger burn pieces for Ultim Surveyor?
Any, sorry, what?
Dagger burn.
I don't know what dagger burn is.
Oh, it's that one meme deck where you give your opponent a bunch of things with like Dowsing Dagger and then like get them with Trespasser's Curse.
No, we have
You have a
something
sweeper?
like 12 board wipes in the main deck, if you count the ones in the studies. And giving away 1/1s is approximately zero cost.
The first 1/1 is definitely free because it's a 1/3. And usually the 1/3 can also block multiple 1/1s over the course of multiple turns.
The card,
but I do think this card's going to feel a little bit awkward versus Crush Castle in particular.
Yeah.
I think versus Crush Castle, it is a vanilla 1/3.
You give Crush Castle all the artifacts that should have been in their deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I board this out versus Crush Castles. As silly as it is to board out my artifact destruction versus the artifact deck. Yeah, that's what I do.
I mean, you don't want to be destroying their artifacts anyways.
I also want to point out, in particular, Death in Reverse is my answer to basic lands, which this is a GP where they're important to answer.
I also noticed that you're running 4 rots and then 4 Singularity's Grasp between the main board and the sideboard. I saw you in chat earlier. I see that you've definitely come teched out against the supposed meta.
There is hatred in Cyber's heart for this.
But you're also playing Recall Forgotten Aeons and Dire Straits, so like you're also technically part of you're running cards that the other deck also runs. You're also trying to ramp.
Participate in society.
I'm here to do blue-green ramp's job better than blue-green ramp does.
Honestly,
we love that.
Yeah. Krufix also ramped. Yeah, you're trying to ramp.
This is secretly a blue-green ramp deck. It's just a blue-green ramp deck that also gets to be a control deck.
Oh, I love that.
If this was pro wrestling instead of MSEM, I would be like calling out blue-green ramp players or something, but I'm not.
Okay, it is technically possible for this deck to animate Krufix, but I am using technically possible very generously. It involves having a Recall Forgotten Aeons on the battlefield, as well as the Krufix, and then either multiple Maze Collection or multiple Ultim Surveyors, or like another Recall Forgotten Aeons.
Yeah.
And Ultim Surveyors.
Well,
Krufix isn't a creature.
Okay.
Like, I love the guy, but he isn't a creature.
The deck looks really interesting, so I'll give it 4 Chili Peppers. Rocket Person, you can go do your thing now.
Yeah. So I really am enjoying like I'm coming out swinging for the meta. I think that is super admirable. Cosmic Sinkhole is a gorgeous card with that art. But the real highlight for me is Maze Collection, which is a card that I was told doesn't see a lot of play. And I almost put it in my deck, but we were running out of time. We had like 2 minutes to plug it in, so we didn't end up seeing it. But it's nice to see a card that I saw. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
It's definitely above average. I'm not like drooling over anything. It's definitely above average.
What about Reveal Eternities?
Reveal Eternity.
The card I'm currently hovering
Oh.
over. It uses the secret
yeah,
layer
yeah,
art.
yeah. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I have much to say beyond. It's
Aw.
pretty cool.
Fine.
It does not change my mind, unfortunately.
Sure.
But I that was one of the cards that I did enjoy. So you're already catching on to my tastes.
I'm glad. Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on. Dravos is on. Okay, what the heck is this land base?
Uh-oh.
Damn. That is a long list of lands and symbols.
The classic psychic damage basic lands array.
Yeah, let's see what mix of Wayfarer Shrine they decide to go with. Not bad.
Oh gosh, the differing Wayfarer Shrine.
Oh, I hate this. Not to spoil anything, but
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I stand by my earlier sentiment of I think adding Tyrant of Tributes makes this deck worse. And wait, this deck does okay. Yeah, I think you're going to have some number of hands where your mana looks a little bit clunky, and that little bit of clunk like slows you down a turn, and that one turn you get slowed down in the early game has a cascading effect.
Yeah.
I don't think the ability to sometimes Tyrant of Tribute someone into the ground is enough to justify that. I recognize that Tyrant of Tributes is a good card. It's an 8-drop. You're not casting 8-drops on turn 4. You're casting them turn 5 or 6. I don't know. I'm like,
Wait, you are?
I think this deck's a 7 for me.
So slightly less than. Wait, that's. I feel like it's still gonna be ramp enough of the time for. Oh, you're only rating ramp at 7. Wait,
Wasn't I an 8 on ramp?
yeah, you're an 8 on ramp.
Yeah, I think this deck loses a full point due to the addition of red.
Really, I feel like it's it's not gonna lose that much consistency. It's still gonna be the ramp deck, except sometimes
what
it
other
loses to
cards-
itself.
What cards did it cut for the Tyrant? It cut a main deck Sack Bowl. Did it cut a Leyran?
Yeah, Leyran and Sackbow.
Leyran is one of the scariest things this deck can do on turn 3.
Well, unfortunately, you have to cut top end, or else you're gonna
Right.
screw yourself even more.
I'm saying we have added a card that on turn 5 sometimes fucks people up for a card that if we're casting it on turn 3 we win the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot of active disrespect for. I want to keep playing the card that I want to play a card because it's been good for me historically rather than it's best for this shell.
Well, yeah, I mean, I also agree. But
I didn't watch. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead first.
I didn't watch many of the ramp mirrors, but is it normal to get 8 mana on turn 5? Because most of the time in the games of ramp I played, someone had gotten 8 mana by turn 3 or 4.
Only if. Well, the thing is, if you get the nut draw, you also have to draw Tyrant along with it, and getting nut draw means getting 2 or 3 cards in your opening
That's
hand.
true.
And you're also doing all of this. So the other thing is,
I guess
if you have
just draw better.
8 mana on turn 3, and you're using it to cast Tyrant of Tributes, so now, okay, really stupid example. You lose to Portal Fracture, whereas Leyran Alpha didn't lose to Portal Fracture because it's versus 8 mana. That's 2 mana window. I do think there is an actual cost to going up to 8 over a 6-drop top end.
Right.
I don't know what you're getting.
So the reason I'm actually not playing Blue Green Ramp this GP is because I knew Dravos was going to be on this deck, because adding Tyrant, the one thing that adding Tyrant does is it lets you win the mirror really nicely.
Oh, absolutely. Tyrant's amazing in the mirror.
Because without Tyrant, sometimes the game just devolves into a board style that I do not want to play through. I don't think anyone
you did
wants.
also miss lethal when you shared that screenshot.
Oh,
You had definitive lethal throughout multiple turns there, and you just did not attack.
I'm bad math, okay? I'm bad math when there's more than 10 creatures on the board.
It's one of those things where you're like, shit, they have 30 creatures. I can't attack. And it's well, you had 40. and 40 is 10 larger than 30. So that means you do a lot of damage to their face.
But look, if you play Tyrant, you no longer have to think about all that.
I do agree. Tyrant does remove the need to think about that, and also one of Petra's strengths as a player is being willing to accept that sometimes math is for blockers and just going for it.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at the art, and I love that they're playing the good Primal Resurgence art. Okay, anyways, so they're increasing the Toho ratio of the GP in general.
Yeah. Very anime overall.
Okay, anyways,
Yeah,
yeah,
deep
Robot, you can
disagree.
go.
Hard disagree, and I'm so glad that I'm the one rating the cuteness of the stack because it is not it. The land base. What are you, honey? What are you doing? It's not. You don't have to like pay more money to get like matching lands. You can just do it. And we don't have. So we're missing so much out of the other deck, right? We're missing an attractive land base. We have too much anime in this deck. We have no self inserts anywhere to be found. So that the point that I gave for the self insert, I think it loses ultimately. And we gotta give this a 2. I think it's not it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still excited to fight it. I'm still excited to go against it, and I actually think the addition of a card that caused you guys to argue for so long, super cute. But
I agree.
I just I can't I don't think I can go over a 2 for this one.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 5
we
chili
have a Jessica
peppers.
Fireweaver.
Are we moving on to the next deck now?
Yeah.
Okay, Jessica Fireweaver. Dr. Batman, do you want to... Well, actually, are they around? Do you want to hop in chat?
Beautiful name.
Ooh, an Anthus is in
No, they're gone.
This deck looks fucking awesome. This deck is running like a lot of really good cards and not a lot of bad cards. It is cheap interaction. I don't know what Anthus's accomplice is.
Dr. Batman's in chat. Let's let them speak.
Hello.
Hello.
I was called in here by the stream.
Wonderful.
What questions have you for me?
Just hype us up about the deck.
First of all, my compliments to your name.
It's a very old name.
It's very good.
This is just sort of, I think, boilerplate Jeskai good, like, tempo-ish cards.
That's a good way to describe it. Oh, you have Thunder Rolls.
I wanted to build something that would fit Remy Amber specifically well. And Pip said that like something that was aggressive with a good amount of burn. So I was like, well, I'm already trying to sort of incidentally hit 5 colors, so Thunder Road would be good in that as well.
Yeah.
Did you build this list? Did someone else?
I built this mostly myself.
Sick as hell.
Thank you.
One thing I'm a little bit curious on is I think so 31 lands is like I think pretty typical for a lot of Fireweaver decks. But I feel like the caves of Leonixia feel like they should probably be mirror gates because of your intense color requirements.
This is probably true. I was thinking I might value the untap comes in untap more than the
gotcha.
The harder hate.
I do really like the 7 cantrips that pair well with Thunder Road. That's awesome. The fact that you have 2 different blue and 1 cantrips means that you can pretty reliably, if you hold on to them and you hit Wooburg on curve, you can pretty reliably cast a augmented Thunder Road. You have a lot of early disruption. Heartforged Savant also helps like fix your mana, as does Unrivaled Fireweaver for End of the Rainbow. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that once in a sideboard and I was like, ooh.
I do. Yeah, no, I mean, like this deck seems like a strong deck. I feel like it probably will be a little bit matchup dependent, but it has a lot of the powerful tools that I would be looking to have in a fair deck. So definitely pretty high on it.
Thank you. And Anthus over Panya was mostly the idea that like it could dig for anything over the course of a couple turns.
How reliably can you trigger this thing?
It's 2 or more spells from anyone, so if you just like counterspell someone's, you trigger it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. Also, I noticed 3 Sigil Radius in the sideboard. That's a card that people haven't run very recently.
It's good versus Reanimator, and it's good versus Reconstruct/Coalesce things, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
But it also has to sit around on board to do that, which might not go so well.
I think
I
like
think
it was just the sort of hedging my bets against any sort of graveyard unfairness that I hadn't thought about.
I think Sigil Radiance is actually a really good card that nobody runs because they just can't find the room for it or the right deck for it.
There's an
It's
annex.
also, I think, a lot of the other anti-graveyard stuff you can like pretend works in other matchups. Whether or not it does is another question. But cards being flexible and being able to be brought in multiple different matchups makes them easier to justify in the sideboard.
Right.
So Sigil of Radiance just does one thing. It's also kind of awkward because there are certain combo decks where Sigil of Radiance doesn't stop them from comboing. Like Manifest Memories and Memories Reignited as 2 examples off the cuff. But there was another one that someone was talking about recently. So that's a little bit awkward.
Okay. Actually,
But I also have a ton of counter spells already in the main board,
Yeah.
which is something. Anyway,
okay.
later.
Neon just pinged me and they said that they would need to leave soon. So if they want to talk about their deck, then we should do it now.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I'm just gonna give a little quick.
Yeah, let's do
I
this.
don't have a lot of notes. For Dr. Batman, I think Heartforged Savant is one of the prettiest card arts I've seen. Love that. I'm super, super into it. Lost Sweet Dreams, also super cute. Those are the 2 standouts. Love to see Jeskai like decks that I've never seen anything like before, and super excited to see how it plays. So I'll give it a 3.
What about Remy Amber?
Remy, yeah, let me go. That is a cool looking card, I gotta say. Still gonna give it a 30, but it is a cool ass card.
Okay, sure.
And I'm gonna give it a 7. Or sorry, 7.5. I think this deck is good, but like I think there's a good chance that Ramp just eats it alive, and it is very saddened to Ramp.
Or Chili Peppers. Okay, let's move on to Neon's deck.
Yep.
Where's
What's
Neon?
up, fuckers?
That's a good introduction.
Yeah.
What makes this Chaos deck liberal? Explain that.
I don't know why they labeled it that, because the name of the deck is very clearly. Hold on, I don't remember the name of the deck.
Okay, this is not libertarian prowess. I see.
No, this is not liberal. This isn't liberal plot. There's no politics involved. We gotta cook. Jesse, we need to cook right now.
So, are you forcing Autumn Fae and Here with you to cook meth? Is that your explanation?
Sorry, I mean Luz Nocetta and Amity Blight. They gotta cook.
You find 2 pairs of cute lesbian couples, and you're like, you know what? You're gonna help me cook some meth, and they're like, "What's a meth?" And you're like, "You're gonna find out. You're going to learn today."
I'm from.
This world includes.
As the New Mexican, I currently live in rural New Mexico, and lesbians definitely cook meth.
Thank you for your insight. This is also consistent with my understanding from my time in Portland, Oregon.
Real.
But it's good to get some confirmation across the states.
So here's the narrative.
So
all the people around the place, Heartforged Savant, aka Walter Hartwell White.
Oh, absolutely.
Get on my Galvin coal line. We're going to New Mexico. That's right. Chugga, 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 chugga. Oh boy. It's scorching hot out here. I'm not going to incorporate all of the words, but we get to New Mexico and it's cooking time.
Yep, I should really make another treasure token for AVX for the crystallized things, which is just clearly math.
Yeah.
This is really good insight. Thank you.
Wait, so does that mean the Slighton crystals in the lore is supposed to be a metaphor for meth?
Yeah, so in canon, what they are is they can replicate. They basically cause non-biological matter to grow as if it was biological, which is fucking weird. But also holding them near you for extended periods of time does give you psychic powers, just like crystal math. So you know what?
Oh, it's true.
Wait, so
Maybe
I have
consistent.
also heard this. I have also heard this.
I'm like pretty high on this deck. It is a really fucking good linear deck. As long as Neon doesn't like brick repeatedly at mulligans. It like just imploded me multiple games in a row on turn 3. So yeah, I want to believe this deck's like. I mean, no one's main decking like good healing or sorry, like good life gain. You have a bunch of flyers. You have a bunch of like persistent damage. I don't know. Fuck it. 8.5. Let's go.
8.5?
I think
That's you're putting it higher than ramp.
I'm putting it higher than ramp because this deck looks like it should shit on ramp.
Are you high on this deck?
I mean, yeah, on that. Crystal map.
we've been cooking. Anyways, let me talk with you through each of my picks here. Okay. Stormshaper, Adept, and Pupil of Lightning. We love a good Monastery Swift Spear, but like slightly worse, but a little bit quirky. Enraptured Countess is an onboard sorcery, which we love, we stand. Heartforged Savant. This card is bonkers. If I untap with this card and I play like a Flame Colors command, or God forbid a Goddess's Whimsy, I should probably win that turn, unless I brick.
Is Goddess's Whimsy supposed to be an innuendo for something?
No, I mean, I don't know. Do you? Hold on. There's something about me. Yeah, Goddess's Whimsy is, it's obviously Skylar. Take a look at the art. Clearly,
No. It's like the nervous lady that Jesse wanted to bone really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
This is a masterpiece. There is a story. There is cute girls all over the damn place. This deck takes place in New Mexico. This is the strong. It has trains. All 14 lands look exactly the fucking same.
They look.
The bar is so low.
The lands
No,
look like.
this is amazing. This is my first ever 5 heart rating.
Congratulations, Neon.
I say I am that good.
Neon, if you don't win this GP, you're gonna make all of us look incredibly embarrassing. I just want
Listen.
No. You need to lose because that would be way funnier.
You need to make it to top 8 and then lose.
I need to win so I can put that really zoomed in face of Walter as the art for Heartforged Savant.
I mean, even if you get a top 8, you can still do that at the end of the season.
Hold on.
It's like,
When you lose,
I want to pervert for AVX. Finger curls on the monkey's paw.
Neon, when you lose, I think the entire server should just spam the gif of Walter White collapsing.
I don't know if any of y'all fuckers were on Tumblr during the niche apocalypse. We should just put all of our PFPs to like hogging Walter White. Yes, that one. The Pipsqueak just posted hogging Walter White. So yeah, that one. I think those are the stakes.
Hold on. I think hold on. We gotta make this the art of the what's this is the art for Heartforged Savant now.
Okay. Let me point camera at Discord.
All right. It is. We've been doing this for like an hour and 20 minutes. How many have we gone through?
Not enough.
Okay, let's hurry up.
A couple.
Yeah, you can go now.
No.
So-
All right.
No.
Betty, bye. I'll watch the stream VOD later and tell you how bad you were at it. I'm kidding.
No, please do.
I will mercilessly mock you, and I will bully you. I'll come up with a cruel nickname, and I will just spam ping you.
Robot. I'm already robot. Anyways, yeah, and I want everyone who I give, like, if I gave you a 2 or less, by the way, you're allowed to come swinging at me. IRL, it's fine. I know. But yeah, let's move. Let's get a move on.
So Gallo's playing at the top of so it's Temple with Operative Posh. And some wait, what color is this?
It's Maple Bears.
This deck's kind of neat.
It's 4 colors, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 4-color Maple Bears.
I'm a little bit worried that it doesn't have enough interaction, but like maybe Crossroads. So wait, what does Crossroads Harrier do? It's a Punisher, right?
Yeah.
They can just have you draw a card.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
It triggers Posh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a 2/1 with Flash.
Yeah. So
It's a 2-drop. It doesn't need to be that insane.
You're just playing all the good Temple Flash creatures like Forpanya, which is.
It does feel like you're weirdly soft. I guess main deck you're weirdly soft to like spell-based stuff, but post board you can kind of offset that pretty heavily. I don't know. Deck seems neat.
Yeah. What are you blinking? I guess your princesses.
Literally everything. Commanding Princess is good. Mattia is good. Veilbore Meddler can be good, but not for the slow blinks. Panya, resetting Panya is pretty good. Crossroads Harrier is drawing you cards or dealing damage.
Oh, it's not target. So it can blink lands too, I guess, if it gets
Commanding
there.
Princess.
Also true.
Yeah, Command Princess too. Like that's probably what you wanted. That's your top end, right?
Yeah, that's nuts. Notably, it can hit anyone's non-token permanent. So, Ricky, I hope you enjoy getting your basic lands flickered.
It comes down too slow for it to matter. Like by the time this thing comes down and gets a trigger off, I've already ramped with RFE.
Yeah, that's true. You have your legs under you.
I do like that you can make Posh and then untap, play Commanding Princess, attack with Posh, flicker it.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. And also when you cast Commanding Princess, you can like untap a land and hold up Cosmic Sinkhole.
Yes.
Right. And also take a walk. I didn't realize that it's playing this many blink effects.
I think I'm up to like a 7.5 on this deck. I think this deck seems solid.
Really?
It has a cohesive plan. I could be surprised. Like, it's possible this deck just sucks, but I feel like betting against this deck would be a mistake.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Gallo is a good deck builder.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love.
Come in, robot.
We love. Yeah. Beat Bop. Hello. We love Veilborn Meddler. We adore Commanding Princess. Commanding Princess is one of my favorite cards I have seen tonight. We love Operative Posh. I'm in love with Operative Posh. I think that playing everything like at instant speed, super fun. Just like let's play peekaboo with this deck. We love it. We'll give it a 4.
Wonderful.
Okay. So gateways. This looks like it's just a pretty standard big red, 80 cards.
It's big red, except it's running Rapacious main board instead of. Wait, it's running Extractor Mercenary. That's not something Nyx was running, right?
Oh, this is the free version. Gallo also posted a version of this list. So this is not on the exhilarating prescience tech, but like it's fucking big red. It curves up. It has removal. It has a powerful proactive plan. It's a good deck. Like I don't know what to say. I think this is I'm a little bit lower on this than the other one, but it probably has pretty explosive starts. So shrug emoji.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it has like double and triple pipped things because those give me good feelings.
True. They're
It's good
also
with
very
orals.
good with
Yeah.
Auros.
I mean, Big Red.
Really, when Council nerfed Auros, they should have just made him red, 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 red. That would have been a nerf, right?
Yes.
Just being a flame tongue cabinet on its own, that'd be
Yeah.
quite something.
Seems fair and balanced, Smiley Face. Yep, this deck is like a 7, I guess. I don't know. I'm lower on it than the other one, but I think calling this like a 6 would be a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, with Big Red, you get a lot of tuning opportunities. You can. There's lots of different cards you can run in the slots, right? So
Yeah, I
every
don't think
big
this deck
deck,
is bad.
every Big Red deck is unique to its owner or its player, I guess. And also the board choices too, because you get to choose your Fire Weaver board, and for here, Gateway's running Trader's Execution for some reason. I mean, it does stuff, right? Trader's Execution, it deals up to 9 damage in the right scenario. But,
Yeah, I mean, it can just kill someone.
I'm gonna give it 3 chili peppers. I like.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this deck before. One thing I do like is getting to see the reminder text on Cadence for Lieutenant Daisy. Makes me realize just how good a card it is. Super, super cool. I like the Psycho Killer quote that she is saying. She's like singing Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads at me.
Oh, you got the reference.
Cool. Yeah, of course. I mean, come on. I'm weird. Let's get real. I mean, again, I feel like we've seen this before. Like you guys are saying, it's a big red deck. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, it looks like red aggro. Sure, we'll give it another 3.
Aggro mid range.
Same as the last one. Yeah. So I'm gonna just give it a 3, same as the other one.
Okay.
It doesn't impress me all that more. It doesn't have a lot of standouts from the other one. It's just kind of, it is that deck. Hey, look, we see it again. Cool.
Okay, moving on. Girl Husband, what? How do you say this name again?
Girl Husband 1,000
number of
wives.
wives. One of the options is 1,000 wives. The other one is 100 wives. I think being off by a factor, an order of magnitude, is probably a mistake. I would check on what might have happened to the other 900 wives. But I mean, hey, it's the Simurgh deck. It is so. It's a little bit unfortunate because this isn't running the what's it called? Sage of this deck doesn't look like it actually was updated for this GP. I think this is what Girl Husband was playing last month as well. So it is a little bit awkward to be running a cool 5-color deck that isn't running any of the cool new 5-color tech. But I think the deck is probably solid.
This is a good Remy deck.
Yeah, this would be a solid Remy deck. I think it would be Remy doesn't play super nice with the Grand Simurgh. But for instance, it should definitely be on Sage of Folded Possibilities. Although Sage turns off Lone Survivor, so that's probably a miss.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you have to keep in mind when you're building these Lone Survivor decks. Like, sometimes you ask, why are you not running this card? And it's because it's a human.
Yeah, but it is unfortunate to not be on any of the new tech. I don't know. I think it's a relatively good deck. I think I'd probably be 6.5 on it, though. I think it's probably a dog to ramp, and I think it has a little bit of a rough time in some other matchups as well.
Technically, you can Lone Survivor ramp, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
You need to be on the play for that to work out.
I mean, yeah. So on the play, you drop Foxspear on 2 and Lone Survivor on 3, and
they probably. Well, I mean, not even that kills them though, because if they did get Primal Resurgence on 1, they can do
they have to Pale Scatter.
Oh yeah, on 2, or Pell Scatterer on 2, or even they can tap out to cast They could tap out, cast Lantern, tap to untap the land, then cast Merchant, and then they actually have more creatures than you. So your Fog Spewer is turned off.
Yeah, probably just the ramp then.
Yeah, I think ramp is going to make a lot of these mid-range decks feel a little bit worse. But I think this is a solid deck, and I think it has some really good matchups this GP. So
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna give it 5 chili peppers because it's a purple deck.
always
Go
loyal.
ahead, Jim.
One thing.
Turn.
Oh, what does Aerith do here?
Aerith
I'm just not
Maldred?
familiar.
It's value,
Yeah.
I guess. Right? Is it value?
That's the
It might be.
question.
Lets you play one thing it lets you play some extra things every turn.
I just never seen this card out of Seasons of War drafted. I was just surprised to see it.
Purple ran this card when they were running the Submerg deck that one time.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean it is just a 5 mana what is that? The Dominaria legend that Sultai colors.
Muldrotha.
Yeah, it's a 5 mana Muldrotha, which is, good.
Also, yeah.
Okay, robot, come in.
Robot, come in. There are I've counted, so you guys were kind of confused on whether there was 1,000 wives or 100 wives. I've counted the number of wives, and it's 3. So right, automatically, like what's happening here? I don't know. It's confusing. It's disorienting. It makes me cry a little bit. I want more wives. A lot of creatures.
Yeah.
Which is
There's another
cool.
wife in the sideboard. Matters.
There's one more wipe in the sideboard? Oh, Aerith, right. So 4 wipes in total, I guess.
I mean, I like Gilfs, but Aerith is a bit
A little far for you.
no, yeah.
Well, wait. The Grand Simmerg uses she/her pronouns on the card, so are we excluding chimeras from our wife count?
Yes, I will not. I refuse to steal furry valor.
And yet we were just remarking on how excellent Valdez was. Very curious.
No, Valdez. I don't want Valdez carnally. I think Valdez is cute.
Interesting. This will be reflected in our observations.
Yes, of course.
You're being
But, yeah.
scrutinized.
Oh, I always. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking over the decks. Okay, cool. We've got a little bit of like all creatures, a little bit of stacks. None of the art seems to pop out at me except for the 3 wives plus become immersed. It's a 2 for me. I'm sorry. I really love Girl Husband. 10,000 Wives. Super cool name. Probably we're going to get along as people. But babe, you need more wives.
Okay.
10,001.
False wife advertisement.
All right. Marina's deck is up next. We have
Warrior Cats.
Warrior Crats. This deck's a good deck. We've seen it in action before. It now has Solemn Teacher, which probably does very stupid things with Channeler of the Veil. It has
It had that before, right?
Yeah, the version that Giant Poet played.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot when this deck was last played.
Ooh,
yeah,
Skull Smasher.
Skull Smasher seems good. It's like an Aguri, but you can actually play it in this deck, which is awesome.
You mean it's stolen secrets on the body?
I mean, sure, close enough. I don't know. This deck seems good. It's running a lot of Marina's own cards, which I'm sure is a factor. It is not running any AVX cards, so I decry it entirely.
It's hit 1.
Where is it? I'm not seeing the 1 AVX card it's running.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was saying that you read it in Instant 1.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Instant 1. No. I think this deck is fine. I bet it probably is good into ramp.
It is, definitely.
Ramp, technically can, I don't know, Bessie's brewed it? That feels pretty bad. I don't think you're winning those games. Yeah. I think this is probably in the 6.5 or 7 range for me.
Against ramp, when ramp is playing against this deck, if the deck can do its thing, then ramp can't really stop it from doing the thing, so you lose if
Mhm.
that happens. So it does have a decent matchup against ramp in that way, but
Makes sense. Okay.
We adore seeing references to Alara. Even though I play a lot of Grixis, I kind of do hate Grixis. So it's a bit of a neutral for a Sidraxis Trepanator, which is fine because we got still Smoke Skirmisher, we have Stubborn Blade Mate, we have Astrid. Like this is some good content for Emmy. Don't love the name of the sorcery, but sus names for sorceries aside, this is a spectacular standout deck. This is a deck that we are going to like be expecting to see more of in terms of flavor. This is what we want to like. From me being here, I've turned my role into kind of like uh uh this is what I want to see in the future is like the new standard. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
okay.
All right. So we are through 15 out of 30 decks.
Good God.
So and it's been an hour and a half. So I'm gonna say like we will have to accelerate this substantially.
Yes, substantially. All right.
Okay. Hersey's Green Blue Turbo Fog. If you've played against Hersey in League recently, this is a deck they've played a lot of. It is a deck that has like a really powerful engine and some really powerful like interactions in it. But it's also trying to kill people mostly by decking them out. So I think it's automatically a villain deck, just kind of like by rule. Oh no, this deck also has Oil the Mind as a nice little like way to beat Mill. I don't know if anyone showed up with Mill this GP. This deck seems fine. It can basically fog infinitely, and a lot of the decks in this GP are trying to kill you via turning creature sideways without counterspells. I think I can. No, as I'm actually looking at the deck archetype list, I think this is like actually not that good of a meta call. Let's go with like a 7.
Okay. Robot, what about you?
Small Luxuries is one of the coolest arts I've seen, and also one of the coolest cards I've seen. Other than that, it's all pretty fine. It's all very fine. So we'll give it a 3.
All right. I'll give it 3 chili peppers because I do not want to commentate Turbo Fog. Moving on.
Hidsters, red.
Okay. There you go.
This is the exhilarating prescience version. I played against this in League. It seemed really fucking good. This is the version I'm kind of just like higher on. So I'm 7.5 for it.
It's like Nyx's deck, except there's some different card choices because that's what you get to do if you're playing Big Red. You get to make lots of card choices.
Yeah, turns out 80 cards gives you a lot of slots to like fiddle with. Ooh, I think I actually want Sear Fleshes for this matchup. It's like, okay, sure, knock
These are
yourself out.
really cool mountains.
Yeah, the Panshao Mountains.
Robot, are you just going to give the same rating as before?
Yeah, it's very Hannibal Buress. Big Red is the same.
Okay, sure. Caillou's on blue-green ramp. Yay! I'm going to give it 5 chili peppers because it's my deck.
I mean, oh well, Caillou's using the wrong stand unassailable art. SMH my head.
They're also they're using the correct primary surgeon's art. Yay!
I am pretty high on this though overall. As I said with Mako, like I think this is one of the decks to beat right now. Having looked at a bunch of the decks, a lot of the decks that we've looked at, we've commented this as beaten ramp. A lot of the ones we've looked at, we said this loses to ramp. So I'm gonna put this as an 8.
Okay. Same rating from Robot too. It still has anime art.
Yeah, it still has the anime art. It's still the meta deck that I keep hearing about. I'm still hearing about it. Let's give it a 2. Let's move on.
Okay, so MacGuffin's. Okay, here's the deck I was talking about that beats ramp really hard. Yeah. So,
yeah, MacGuffin's actually in chat.
do they want to join? Voice call?
MacGuffin's in the voice call.
Ooh.
How's it going?
He's already here.
Ooh, nice. How's it going? Yeah, so tell us about your deck.
So I decided that I wanted to play an Aristocrats deck that cut the grindy Egg of Avarice plan for just a solid aggressive plan. I'm trying to play only good cards, and I trimmed all of the sort of janky cards. Nihilistic Shock Trooper is a stick new edition that is best friends with Todd Hollow Lich and Vault Keeper.
Nihilistic Shock Trooper is absolutely insane in the games I play against it. You can't really stop it from going off.
This list is not on any rail lines or creative corruption because I'm like a 3-color aggro deck, and both of those felt very clunky in testing. Cradle is worse in this deck because I have Plasma Enforcer and non-creature token producers that Cradle can't buy back. It's harder to like build around a game state that I could blow my opponent up.
Right.
I chatted with you a little bit about this deck. I think it seems pretty strong. I like where your sideboard's at. I think you have a good linear plan. I think the main thing I'd be worried about is you potentially losing to yourself in some percentage of games. Just because, like, you know, as you mentioned, you're a 3-color aggro deck, which really needs to curve out and use its mana every single turn. So that just, like, kind of has a risk, like, has a failure chance.
And also because it's a synergistic deck, so you can just like not draw your combo pieces, or I mean,
this one's definitely less vulnerable to that than other decks in this like broad meta archetype because its cards are more individually good.
The original version of this deck was more similar to Crush's deck, and I was on like Vivid March and Master of Munitions, going for that combo plan, but decided Master of Munitions is another like 2 mana value non-artifact creature that just wasn't good enough on its own, and Vivid March is dead outside the combo. So I just wanted to go with like good aggressive cards because this deck can kill you even if I'm not trying to count to 20 with Channeler and Vault Keepers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your matchup versus Big Red?
Not great. That's actually one thing I've struggled to fight. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, Metal
Lich is
the
main
issue
good.
that I see.
I almost submitted something else because of Big Red, but decided to send it anyways.
It's good. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7. I think it's powerful, but I think there's a way this just goes poorly.
I have chili peppers because it seems interesting. Anyways, Robot, what about you?
Yeah, we love Challenger Vale, but what really stands out to me is this land base. Absolutely gorgeous. Got a comment on that because I'm gonna love to see this on the other side of the board, all looking nice and united. And so we're gonna give it a solid 3.
All right, moving on. We are skipping over Neon because we've already done him.
We know Neon's perfect. It's fine.
So Requiem is on Reanimator.
Oh, yo, I love this blue-black Reanimator list. I played it for a little bit. Oh, interesting. Operation 433 is kind of a nice add to it. It helps it like much more consistently do the, you know, turn 1, whatever, turn 2, target, turn 3, reanimate.
Yeah, it's in a tube.
One thing that's a little bit interesting about this list, so I don't know if people remember, but the older list that Purple was on this creature suite, partially because it also ran 4 copies of Wilting Lotus, whatever it's called.
That one.
Yeah, the one that got nerfed. Where it could actually cast its ramp threats, or its reanimator threats. But since Requiem is off that and is now like just basically replaced all those slots with like more reanimation, it looks like we're up to 10 main deck reanimation plus 4 Answer Midnight's calls. I think that's probably good. I don't know. I'm looking at this and I think there's actually potentially some issues just with I think you could be going harder with creatures. I'm not sure off the cuff. Maybe these are still the best creatures, even if you're not like looking to ever cast them. But I kind of doubt that. I do think the deck looks overall strong.
Wasn't the purple deck also on Cosmic Sinkholes and more control tools?
Yes.
Yes. I feel like
that's one of the reasons I played it.
I feel like this deck, like it's just too, like it only has the combo pieces.
It's only on one of each of the Explore lands. That's also a little bit surprising.
Yeah, I feel like this deck just doesn't have enough glue. That's the right word for it, right?
Yeah, so it has 4 Operation 433s and 4 weakened chefs. So it will, I think, reliably do the thing if it hits its first 3 land drops, which I think is like the first hoop on this deck.
Yeah.
One thing that's awkward about this deck / archetype is I found that this deck archetype had some problems if people like really aggressively went after your lands, because you need to hit like 3 or 4
Oh
mana
yeah,
every single
right.
game.
That too.
There's a particularly infamous video of me just eating absolute shit to Neon Blue, casting, I think, like
Oh, that was so
10
funny.
10 Imperial Sieges in one game versus me in our game 2, and then in game 3, casting another like 7. And both of those games, I kept like 5 land hands. Like, both, I was like, it's one of those things where your opponent casts 1 Imperial Siege, you're like, you shouldn't have boarded that in versus me. What are you doing? They cast the second, you're like, why did you board in all of these? And then once they cast the third, you start going, oh, never mind, this is a problem, actually.
And then they have the Enrapture Countess.
All of that is to say, this is a really rough GP when people are gunning for lands this aggressively. To be playing the deck that needs to hit your land drops to be able to kill someone. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm like a 6 on this. I think it's a deck that could be good, but I think it's actually missing a lot of the matchups that would make it nuts.
I'll give it 3 chili peppers because it feels like a worse version of the purple deck. Like I just don't like how it doesn't have that much glue. Like it's just combo pieces.
All right.
I adore
Robot.
Yeah, I adore Demeanor. Obviously, I adore Reanimator. We love to see it. We want to see it. I feel like seeing this deck in action is going to inform the future of my play a lot. So I'm excited to see it. But nothing in the art really like shoots out at me. So I'm just gonna
Really? What about Unstill Unlife?
So Unstill Unlife you definitely caught the one that I enjoy. Both mechanically and artistically, this card calls to me. I love a good pseudo persist. And I do think it's fantastic. I think that's one of the things that is like putting it above average.
Okay. Sure.
So Rickman made this last minute. I think he plays the actual ones with cool arts.
Which ones? Unstill Unlife? Is there a
Tyrant of Tribute?
Oh, Tyrant of Tributes.
Yeah. I don't know about the rest. I don't know the cards well enough.
I'm not sure what you mean by the cool art because Tyrant has a million arts and I don't know which ones count as cool.
You're right.
How the hell does Tyrant have so many arts already?
Is there another one yet?
No.
It's been in the format
It's been a while.
right?
Ricky, hasn't Tyrant been in the format longer than you have?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. Brutal.
I think it's a good meta call. Beats up ramp every time.
Does it? Ramp a sack bowl. Or
Beats up ramp every time they don't hit sack ball.
And
Okay.
also, Ramp can kind of go over the top of Terror of Shady Cove. Like, Azos probably stuffs it in a box, and Tyrant Tributes is good, obviously, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Ag Ramp. Let's fucking go.
With now with
this deck
8%
is awesome.
more Toho.
I played it to a solid 3-2 finish in League. I actually think I believe I won my matchup versus the traditional blue-green ramp, just because this deck like can go under it pretty reliably. I don't know. It turns out there's some really fucked up synergies in this deck, and I think as long as you dodge the bad matchups and only get good matchups, the deck is really good.
Well, you also have to draw your cards because like you need a fetch land plus your more
just
more
mulligans
plus
them.
yeah. So yeah,
You just always have it. This deck's really good if you just always have it.
The deck's slightly different from last GP because last GP I was running 4 daisies. Now I've split between Seeker and Daisy, and then the sideboard is tuned to beat ramp because now I'm running 2 Anointed Curse Breakers as well as Ostracizer Orb. But yeah, it's the same deck as last time except slightly more tuned to the meta, and also has like the promo more no more arts because that's because I managed to get a GP top 8 promo of it.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, 5 chili peppers because I'll be commentating myself. So, Robot, what do you think about my art
I'm not in
choices?
love with the 8% more Toho.
Aw.
Not a Toho girly. Sorry, you knew this about me. You knew this coming in. We're gonna have to dock you some points. Actual skill issue. But no, for real. Daisy looks cool. This looks like a fun deck. I'm excited to see how I fare against it. Traditionally, I do pretty well against Naya, and so that'll kind of be how I shape my deck. Is seeing how this performs as well. Overall, it's fine. Vareria's Farsight is by far the standout card
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, because of normal reasons. But yeah, overall, I don't think it's enough to overcome the Toho, and we're gonna give it a 2.
Unfortunate. Oh wait, what'd
Okay,
you?
now
Let me give this an 8/7, Pip. Okay, fine.
now we come to the worst
No, you're right.
deck
HP
in the
7.5.
whole.
Okay, so
It's time for the worst deck.
Rocket.
I'm excited.
Explain yourself.
Hey, babe.
I,
So
I'm gonna be real. I think this might be a 2.
Yes, I think you know what. You know what's so funny. You know what is so funny. Yeah, you know what is so funny is like when you were doing your ratings, 2 is what I would give it as well.
Like we
Not
have
only
the
that-
4 bullet pools to synergize with exactly May's understudy.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I think your best bet at winning involves mind ripping your opponent to take a good card out of their deck and cast it
Yes, that's
to
correct.
drastically increase the number of good cards you cast in an average game.
Yes, correct.
I also think the 2 Eves is very wise because, again, if you get the emblem, you have access to good cards for one time.
Yes, correct. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think all of this is. I think you're being actually too kind to this pile of dog shit. And looking at some of the other decks, even from like an artistic perspective, this is not it. Of course, I have some incredible taste.
Okay.
This Inquisitor Basilica?
Like Basilica, but with a V.
Yeah. Okay. Inquisitor Basilica, excellent. I learned too late that Eve was the cat, so that's a miss. A huge miss. The one thing I will say is Turned Watcher, 10 out of 10 card. This is such like I'm going to give this deck an extra heart just for Turned Watcher. This like huge flavor win from Emily. If you know her, we love to see it. Other than that, I'm disappointed in the Icon Company Nightwalker. I'm disappointed in the Maze Understudy. Although, if she can get it to work, she's going to be really happy because Vampire Actor is an incredibly powerful combination.
It enables. Polypool enables it. Is that the only enabler in the deck?
Yes, correct.
Or the first Maze Understudy.
Ah, yes.
One shout out I want to
have been. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think this is the first time someone has registered Arena Valerian Explorer in 5 years. One of the people who helped found the format, Wendy Del Carlo, who has now just started playing again for the first time in a long time. This is like one of his favorite OCs, and he used to play this blue-black control deck with this card as the centerpiece. We have seen some very funny things happen with that emblem, and Seal the Tomb effectively becoming like a tutor. So definitely very happy to see this card registered. I only wish I was encountering her under better circumstances.
I also wish, and you will get your chance because I think having exactly like 30 minutes to throw this together, after having learned of the format in like an hour and a half prior.
At least you have a functional
all things considered, it's bad. all things considered, it's not good. But
ignore
it's not
your
nothing.
creatures and your planeswalkers and some of your instants and your enchantments. The deck is really solid, actually.
Real.
Well, okay, wait, no,
I-
there's a second Cradle of Corruption.
Oh. Huh. Is it fetchable?
What can I say?
It's not really fetches,
Yes.
right?
Am I allowed to?
Once you
to
sacrifice
say it?
one, you get to play the other.
The deck doesn't have fetch land, so no, it is not fetch.
Hold on.
That is the answer.
Am I allowed to make a joke
Yes.
on its? Okay, what can I say? I love cock.
Thank you.
there
I
you go.
also made that joke
Yeah.
all the time.
That mostly comes up when we're playing, on a cockatrice, but close enough.
Yeah. So I also am going to dock myself points for this Forbidden Treasure, although it is the better Forbidden Treasure. It's still I could have picked a different card, but I just didn't have time. So I'm gonna give myself, even though I have Turned Watcher, even though I have Basilica, even though it's all vampires and angels, and lovely, gorgeous planeswalkers, it comes in a very underwhelming, disappointing. I don't know whether to give it 2 or 3. I think 3.
Yeah,
Very disappointing 3 for me. I expected higher, but she didn't come through.
Don't be too hard on yourself. You didn't know the format.
All right, Rowan's deck is up next. Rowan, I see you are in.
I love actual Tribe.
Yeah, do you wanna chat about your deck at all?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's mostly Gao's list. I think it's Gao's list, but I got sent it early because I wanted to try it in a league, but it's because I swapped out the wrong sideboard card.
Yeah.
So yeah,
just so you know, Unceasing Flames. Unceasing Flames and Against the Waves are not as good with Infused Apparatus as you would want them to be.
Oh, I know. I have played this. Like, I played a game of this in League.
That's an issue people have.
But I won that game. It was 2 worse. So I mean, it can't be that bad. But Against the Waves, okay. In Seizing Flames, I would cut it if I had put. And the thing was, I had to I'm super sick right now. I had to go to a doctor's appointment just about to submit. But I would cut the Unceasing Flames probably. But Against the Waves is it's decent enough cantrip at this deck. Like, you want to know cards, that's fine.
I mean, I think Unceasing Flames is very good if you're not casting Infuse the Apparatus. The issue is you are casting Infuse the Apparatus. So
yeah. I don't. Sorry, I think it's I would like to cast the card that I played this deck for. So I would cut the card that goes great with it.
Capture Brilliance is so cool.
Yeah, Capture Brilliance, by the way, well, that card does a lot of killing your opponent. Or I guess it doesn't do it. Yeah. But yeah, this deck, like, Fireweaver is the most cracked card ever. It just gets everything you want. I was playing this and it's kind of insane how good that card is here.
I'm a little bit shocked that Fireweaver, you aren't running the Pot of Gold card. I can't remember what it's named.
End of the Rainbow.
Me too. Again, I didn't build this deck. I stole it from Cal and made it worse.
But it looks like a really strong Fireweaver sideboard. I don't know. This deck that I definitely want to try watching because it feels like it can do some really cool things.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm afraid of. I mean, I don't think I have any play against the one of Radiant Sigil. I think I just lose to that.
You just have to go off before they do it.
You can't infuse the apparatus through it, but you still you can still Memories Reignited through it, which is really cool. And you can still unseason. I don't know. There's a non-zero chance you kill someone even if they have that.
Oh yeah, it prevents the exile from happening. So you can just keep Memories Reigniting the same card. I think.
Okay, so wait, hold on a second. If you get a Memories Reignited in your graveyard and they have a Sigil Radiance in play, your second Memories Reignited generates Infinite Storm.
Oh, and then I just unleash the dragon.
That kind of fucks, actually.
Wait, can we build a deck around that?
This next
Yes.
loads again. This is,
You actually could build a deck around that.
Wait, Breach of Lilies. Yeah, you can just you can also add Breach of Lilies and that because it has the same formatting, right? Of
Yeah.
exiling and then
Yeah.
casting a copy. Holy
Alright.
crap!
Okay,
We
never
just
mind.
got a new deck idea.
This deck's fine. Yeah. Apart from that, like I kind of you just kill people. Like 80 cards. Actually makes it so easy to find your combo. Like every time you draw
yeah.
Fire Waver, it's like okay, cool.
Oh
Fun
my
game.
god, so true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even more easy to find your combo if you add more cards with
I meant to
Unceasing
add.
Flames.
Sorry.
You're saying it's even more easy to find your combo if you add more cards with Unceasing Flames.
Yeah. No, but it actually is like so. It like. But I just wish I had a ritual, which I meant to add, but I had to like go quickly before I submitted. So, yeah, I wish I had like a 2-mana ritual that I could find with Fire Waver as well, because that's like you want like turn 3 if you have a 2-mana ritual, Supernova, and Infuse, you just like win, probably. So,
Yep. Good old
I wish I
Infuse.
had all 3 of those pieces in the board. But yeah, I think this deck's like, if you tune it, it's like even better, and I think it's still pretty good. Like I could totally see, like, doing pretty well with it in the GP. Especially, I think it is good against Ramp, right, Ricky?
They have Forbidden
Give it a-
Treasure, but yeah, if they don't match the
yeah,
Forbidden
okay.
Treasure the right thing, then
I'm gonna give it a 5, if I'm being honest. I think
Yeah, I think that's fair.
there's a lot of ways things can go very deeply wrong with this deck.
Yeah, no, not
It
unreasonable.
also, like, it has good cards in it, and it can still kill you, so hopefully it just does that.
Yeah. I think I can win a match, and I'll take that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go now because again I'm sick
okay.
of it, but
Wonderful. Thanks for coming.
Good stream, quality stream.
Yeah.
I had a really good time. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have to go. Can I just like speedrun give my
Yes,
ratings?
let's go. Let's go. Hurry up.
Right.
Yeah.
So my speedrun ratings. Scribble deck is a Ignition Engine Mardu control deck. I want this to be good. I can't tell if it is. 7.
Okay.
Like it has some good cards. I feel like it should just eat absolute shit to ramp though, which is kind of awkward to be in. Skarga is on a one and all deck, so in my heart this is the hero deck. It also does have the ability to like do some really early combo kills that ramp just cannot interact with literally at all. And a lot of the control decks feel bad interacting with. Honestly, this is like an 8. I think this
Okay.
deck seems really good on paper. Some phase on robots again, and I mean it was good last time, and it's running new cards, so how could it be worse? I think its mana base looks a little bit rough to cast 3 drops, but like it runs a lot of X spells, which I think is really good in this sort of archetype, and has a solid sideboard. I think this is probably like a 6.5. I think it might just catch some strays from people trying to answer cheap enchantments by blowing up a lot of cheap artifacts.
All right.
Flash Cat is on Big Red. Wow,
Big
incredible.
Red. Nice. Cool. New cards too.
I mean,
They're on
believe
Exilium
it.
Presence. Cool. And
yeah,
Pipsqueak.
it's the version I like. I think my deck's like a 6.5. I won the last GP with this deck. I don't think this deck was a good meta call into this GP, but I hated all the other decks I tried, so here we are.
You're running one elaborate transportation in the sideboard.
Yep, I have access to it with Cosmic Coalescing. And technically it's also fine to flicker Commanding Princess.
Yeah.
So
Toast is on Irikato.
yep, I think this deck is good. I think being able to put a turn 3 Tyrant of Tributes into play is going to fuck up a lot of decks this GP. I do think this is one of the most dangerous GPs to cast a Forced Fellowship if you don't have an Ellison Crane in hand, so be very careful. But like on paper, I really like this deck's odds. I think it's good at just racing people, and there's a lot of people to race.
And Scribble is on Shadow.
Zangy is on Scribble's Shadow.
Okay.
This has the same score as Ivy.
It's exact same deck actually, so yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay. Thanks for commentating with us, Pip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very happy to.
Okay. Anyways, so Rocket, do you want? Do you feel like also giving a rating on the decks, or are you like kind of done for now?
Oh, I can keep going.
Oh, really?
Was that just like?
Well, Pip needs to leave soon, so they just ran
I'm
through
just-
all the decks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to sit here and commentate, I'm happy to give my
Sure.
thoughts at the end of it. If you want me to speed run, I could also do that.
Yeah, let's just make it quick. Just give us your summaries of the thoughts of the remaining decks.
Whatever, I'm just having a good time.
Fanciful Bloom, cool card. Actually, Fanciful Bloom, excellent card.
Wait,
Love the
which
art.
deck are you on right now?
Rowan.
Oh, yeah, you haven't even made it past that yet.
Nope. So yeah, Fanciful Bloom, cool card. Cup of Brilliance, cool card. Love Grixis. We're gonna give it a 3.
Wonderful. I'll give the deck
Then-
5 because I do want to watch it in action. I already did that. Okay, good.
Yeah, it does look cool. I got shit for Valdez, so now a point towards is going to be points against to defend myself from the allegations of being a Valdez fucker. Amaret's cool. Damn, the nice thing about hearing you guys talk about these decks is it gave me a card to look, or a chance to look through it. We like Mardu. Mardu looks pretty. Amaret looks pretty. I really like Amaret. We'll give it a. Maybe give it a 4. I like the aesthetic.
Okay.
I like the vibes. Vibes are pretty good around here.
Three Chili Peppers, because yeah, Chicago is on. They're playing the good Thunder Road art.
I like Amelie. Oh, I do like that Thunder Road art. That's pretty
sick. Yes.
It's very sick. I like the art on Unravel Shattered Worlds. I think that's cool. I like the name of While Blood Still Flows. I don't know any of these. I don't know any of these cards do, so I can't really give the vibes of how I'd like to play it, but it's a little disjointed. It's got some cool stuff. It's got some not so cool stuff. I'll give it a 2.
Well, at least the Toho art didn't reduce your ratings this time, so there's that.
It did a bit, but it wasn't a killer. It wasn't a total killer.
5 Chili Peppers. Because I want to see deck in action.
We love robots. We hate artifacts.
What do you think of Intetsu's masterpiece?
I dislike it most of all, I think.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
What about Pidge?
How dare you?
Pidge is
Disliking my
very
beloved
good.
robot.
Oh. Are you here, Sunfei? Well, that's...
Just showed up to hear slander of my beloved flying robot enchantment nightmare.
It's more like a well, I don't know what I was gonna have something clever. More like an amateur piece. It's also a Zorius, so gross. Pidge is fantastic. Pidge, no notes. Sheesh. Other than that, I love trains. We love to see the trains. I don't know. I got some cool cards in the sideboard. You know, I'll give it a 3. I think it's nice.
Since you're here, Sunfei, do you want to talk about your deck?
This is... I'm not convinced this is the right build of robots because I made 5 of them and this is just the one I submitted at the last second. I think that playing 1 mana 2/1s are not actually very good, but I have to because it is a thing. Also, my mana base is horrible.
I see.
So bad. What I am happy about is the T22 Salvation. That thing is so good. Also, that's not what it's called at all. The TT20 Salvation. I think that card is so good. I think it's the single reason I'm in Jeskai.
No, it's...
I do love TTs.
I mean, so it's a 2/2, I guess. Oh no, it's other. So it's basically 2 1/1s that end up growing.
Oh yeah, it's essentially it's a You make 2 1/1s, except that one of the 1/1s is just a construct, which I think is a very good rate for 2 mana.
Huh. It doesn't seem that insane when like on first glance, but yeah, now you mention it.
It's 3 power for 2 mana at base.
Well, it
3
doesn't
power?
count it.
It doesn't count
It
itself.
doesn't count itself.
Oh, it's a different construct. Okay.
Yeah.
I have
Never
been
mind.
substantially impressed with self-replication every time I cast it in previous builds of this deck. So it is the main reason that I am not trying the Nightmare 5-color construct horrible deck that I built. Other than the fact that it doesn't have a sideboard because you can't play anything that's not a creature.
Also,
Right.
quick note: I love a deck with 3 names. Super yummy. Gotta give compliments where compliments are due. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for chatting with us, Sumpei.
That's why robot says plural. It refers to the 3 names.
Yeah.
This is true.
Okay, so let's move on. I'll give it 3 chili peppers. Splash Cat, you already talked about this, right? With Mono Red.
Splash Cat? Okay, so I actually have some new things to say about Big Red. I am so sick of seeing Big Red. In fact, I'm so sick of seeing Big Red, I'm going to rate this deck 2, and I'm going back and rating all other Big Reds besides Nyx's also a 2. We are taking a heart away from Big Red because it's too much. It's too much Big Red. I'm no longer excited to go up against it. It's so much. It's like I keep seeing Big Red. I'm gonna dream about Big Red tonight.
Is there more Big Red than Ramp in this GP? I think there is.
Yes, literally there is.
That's hilarious.
It's very funny, but also stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. Well, Pipsqueak deck. What do you think about the Commanding Princess?
Super cool. A lot of these. Oh, is that like lesbian kid show? I love that.
I don't know, but
fantastic. Yes, I think it is.
Which one?
I've used my eyes. I've used the fact checker that is my brain, and so we're gonna say that. Yeah, Commanding Princess, extremely cool. Cosmic Sinkhole, extremely cool. Void Flare, exceptional. So yeah, we're gonna taking a glance at the deck, how it looks.
It's from She-Ra apparently. The Commanding Princess.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, talking about Commanding Princess. Yeah, it's Scorpio.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm very old, so I don't know that one as well as I know Xena, but still very good. Sideboard looks cool. Like a lot of the art in this deck looks cool. I adore still the Pandemonium. I want to give this 4.
Only 4? No, I guess it's not going to beat what Neon did. Nothing can really beat Neon.
You gotta have a story. You gotta have a story. Like if the deck doesn't have a story or like an overarching theme or like sacrifice itself on the altar of aesthetics, it's not gonna get a 5. Yeah, but it's pretty good. It's very, very good. I'm very impressed, and I want to see this deck do well.
Well, it just did well because it won the last GP.
Well, I didn't see it, so I want to see this deck do well.
True.
Okay, moving on. A toast.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's Eureka Toe. I decided to run it back because I was trying to decide what else to bring, and then I got analysis paralysis, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna bring Eureka Toe because I want to dump dragons on people sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty standard Eureka. I mean, it's not running Ramsey though, so like it's a pretty old-fashioned Eureka Toe. I think the newer version.
I was debating whether to do Ramsey stuff. It's possible it's good, but I do really like. It's possible it's good to have like that onboard presence and stuff like that, and it's life getting his chumps. That's a good point. I didn't think about that all that much. I do like having the permanent ramp because it means that there have been a lot of games where it has gone long and I've just had to hard cast all my targets.
Right.
Which is actually surprisingly like reasonable to do. Like if you can cast 2 ramp spells, then you can get Velier turn 5 or something like that, which is kind of reasonable.
Huh. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You're running 4 elaborate transportations in the board.
Not 4. Oh wait, I'm ready for it. I thought I cut some. Oh well.
Yeah,
I put 4 as a joke, and then I thought I cut some, but I didn't.
So how do you feel now that you know there's more red decks than ramp decks in the GP?
I'm not entirely sure. I feel like this deck. I don't know. I haven't played this deck against ramp. I don't know how good it is against ramp.
I feel like you're not actually unfavored because ramp can't stop you easily, right?
Yeah,
Unless they have
that's what I
forbidden
was thinking.
treasure.
Like, if I get a good hand and stuff like that, I can tyrant quickly and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I feel like if I can offset early stuff and then just play some big thing that you can't stop, I think that's pretty good for me. Red is a little bit annoying. I did add a 3rd stand on a settable to the board just to make sure because I was worried about red decks. I'm a little bit worried about red, but that's mostly like I feel pretty confident if I can get my things down because like as far as I know, red doesn't have super great ways to deal with all my stuff. But like from my remembering, 6 toughness on tyrant is a break point because it means it can't get seer fleshed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if I can land something good, I just need to not get rushed down super fast early game. I wonder if it's like this is very possibly not a good idea and not feasible. But I wonder if it I can side in transportation as a horrible fog.
Well, I mean, you have sunken ambitions. You can just use that instead if you really want to.
Oh wait, no, I did put sunken ambitions in here. Okay, no, that's so much better.
Wait, then what did you cut? What do you think about cutting?
I think I was going to go to 3 of transportation, 3 of sunken ambitions. I don't remember what I did with my sideboard. I played around with it a whole bunch, and I don't really remember what I'm doing with it anymore.
Okay, yeah.
But it's here.
Anyways, 2 chili peppers because it's Eureka Tell.
Nothing's awful in this deck, but nothing really stands out. The 2 cards that I really like are in the sideboard. I think that is by leaps and bounds my favorite S-Pop art that I've ever seen, and I have played a lot of Historic, and so I saw a lot of S-Pop. And that is, by far my favorite art. Elaborate Transportation, that is a really sick art. Pretty cool effect. Other than that, nothing really pops out to me, so I'll give it a 2.
Really, what about Valir and Turi?
Valir's kind of cool. Turi is
a little bit fishy.
Yeah, Turi's like a guy, so it's like, whatever. Take a hike.
Your sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for her. It's a bummer about the genetics, baby girl. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'm just. I mean, okay. I guess on another look, Valir is pretty cute. But yeah, again, I don't know. It's not enough to stand out. Lord Ellison Crane is so unpleasant to look at.
You're not into Lord Ellison Crane.
No, he's not my boy. He's not even my grandpa. I'm gonna have to give this deck a 2. I'm sorry.
Tragic.
Tragic.
Not even the Tyrant of Tributes could do it for you.
I'm a Dragonair girly. I don't like it when Dragonairs evolve. I was trying to avoid saying it because I know it's a controversial take. But I've held back my tongue long enough. I don't like Tyrant of Tributes. I'm a Dragonair girl. You made it evolve. I can't deal with it. All right, let's move.
Tragic.
Okay, Zany, last one.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
actually, I think you already looked at this list before.
Yes, this is the same. This is the same list. Whatever I gave the list before, we'll give it again because it's the same. I've seen it before. What did I give it before?
I think you really liked it or something. Death Shadow Control.
I do think.
Yeah, you get it 4 hearts.
Well, yeah, I'm tempted to take a heart off because I've literally seen it before, and that's so not cash money to me. But we'll give it 4.
Super cash money to me. I'm gonna add a cash money emoji.
I love that for you. I think that is your right as a human.
It looks like the deck's gonna end up being 6.72 because that's average of every single deck here. Huh.
Yeah.
So real. So real.
All right, and that means we're done with everything. Took a lot longer than we needed to. I think we did get a bit off topic at times. Or was that
It was
intended?
fun. I had a good time.
Yeah.
I liked hearing about the debates, especially for my first time. Like, yeah, you guys spent a while debating, but it kind of like
I think
gave me a first taste.
Well, I think like
of
if we
the format.
stay on topic a bit more or didn't debate as much, we probably could have actually gone through all the decks with equal time to all of them before everyone had to leave. But
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like every single deck list stream we go over time because we just end up debating so much.
This is a very good time.
My favorite thing about this process is Dr. Batman 7 mixes Big Red deck, 3 thumbs up, and that's it.
Yeah. They even bothered to rate their own deck. Well, I guess.
No. Pretty good. Pretty good. I enjoyed this process. Oh, now we're seeing 3 thumbs up across the board.
We can extrapolate.
Yeah. Extrapolate from a sample size of 1.
That was just good. Yeah.
So we can at least give all of the Big Red decks 3 thumbs up. All right. Well, I'm excited for my first tournament, and thanks you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming too, and thank you for anyone in the audience who stuck around for the full 3 hours.
100%.
It wasn't 3. Was it? It might have been.
I think it's 3.
I thought it was only like 2, maybe 2.5.
It's almost 3.
A mere 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna be ending the stream now, so bye guys.
Farewell.
Bye.